got motors, got ESCs, got cameras, we got flight controllers, receivers, and that's everything we need. So as you can see, I've got all my parts right here in this area, hoping the camera can catch all of that. I got these wires right here ready. I'm going to switch out the power wires on here, make them yellow and black for this custom build that I'm doing. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with changing out the wires. I'm going to take these ground wires, this one right here, little guy, off. We don't really need those anymore. They just happen to put them on ESCs still for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and that should take care of the first section of electronics. Alright, that's it. I think they put some kind of glue on there because it's like, takes a sec for the soldering iron to get through it. It's kind of weird. I realize I should probably have my fan on. I don't care. There we go. Perfect. Make sure it's nice and tight because these guys like to come out sometimes. Remember, long end, short end, long end, short end, long end down. Tight, tight, good to go. There's like these extra short ones, they're for the top plates, so make sure you don't use those ones by accident if you're building one of these things. Alright, so generally on this build you take one of these long guys, stick it through here. You take one of these plastic guys, you stick it on here, and that starts you off with your stack. But we're not doing a stack. We've got separate ESCs, and we've got this nice little Pico F4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these little guys, give us a nice little soft mount here. Get rid of this piece of rubber. Get us a nice little soft mount going, and that should be it. Alright, there we go. Soft mount is ready. Make sure the arrow is pointing forward, and that's that. Let's ground, 5-volt, and S bus for your receiver. These are the plus and minus for the motors. This guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy are your signal wires for your ESCs. Sorry, these are for your ESCs also, not motors. And then this is right here and here is your main power plugs. All this stuff on the side is like LED, buzzer, and then this is S port, and over here is your 3-volt if you're using like a Spectrum receiver. Alright, so I forgot to press record, but this is the first two ESCs motor on here, so I put them on there upside down because you can just flip them. It's not that hard. But it just puts these wires in the right place because otherwise they're in a weird place. And then you just sit them on here like that. You kind of wiggle them into place. I actually might just go upside down with this one because you want some extra space here for your USB. So that one just might end up staying upside down. I'm not sure yet. So my next step is going to be laying these out. I'm going to go right there, and then I'm going to figure out how much wire I need. It's going to go right there. I actually need a little extra because it's going to fit underneath here. So something like that. Same with this guy. He's going to come up under here and around like that. Something like this right here. Alright. Do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so all these ESCs are now on. What I did was I looped this underneath here, try to clean it up a little bit, keep it nice and tight, keep all the wires inside the frame. Once I put the mix in there, it's gonna sit over these as well. So this should sit right in there like that, or like that for that one. And same as this over here. So next step, I guess, would be starting to get the mix in there. The Gecko has the hardware to get these started. The ones that come with the mix are more for the camera itself. So make sure you use these little guys for trying to put a mix in here, or to save them, so you don't throw them away with the extra bullshit they give you with the Gecko that you're probably not gonna need. One of them will probably end up falling out eventually. One of mine did. Wouldn't worry too much about it as long as there's like two in there holding it together. Should be fine. There we go. I think I'm just gonna go that way with it, like a so. Just like that. And this. Got to sit like a dish. Make sure you're not getting stuff caught in there. And then go like that. This is a tight squeeze, but it'll work. And that starts that. Alright, so that was the ground. This is the power. And this is the signal for the S bus for your receiver here. Pulling these in like this to kind of get them tight. I don't want them going nowhere. But I'm also leaving a little slack so you can pull it out. And if you need to, bind it. Well, you're gonna need to bind it, obviously. See the little button down there? Give me a sec and I'll get a better picture on that. Alright, so you got your bind button down here for your receiver. You should be able to pull a little bit. I left a little slack in there. So for the mix, you need to go to this back one here so that your lens is protected. I noticed with this mix, the lens is actually a little bigger than the one on mine. That's kind of weird, but we'll see how it affects it. What I'm going to do here is use one of these little spacers, one of these little nuts here, or screws, and this guy right here fits right into these, which is nice. One thing I forgot to show was putting this on here. It literally just like pushes down on there. There was no special thing to it. Alright, this is the wire harness for the mix, and this goes to your VTX. So this little part right here goes in the mix. This is your controller. You're going to want to use it to change like the width, because I know that it's like extra fisheye out of the box, so you're definitely going to need to get in the options with the little controller that they send you, this guy right here, and mess around with the options a bit. See what you prefer. I think it starts off on like an ultra wide, and I have mine set to medium wide, and it's still a little fisheye, but it looks pretty good. So just keep that in mind. Kind of stick that there. It's gonna float around a little bit. These two go here where the main plug goes, and that's the next thing I gotta do is make the main plug. Last thing to do is put the motors on. Almost forgot. Alright, and that's the first one. I'm going to put the rest on, and then we'll see how it looks. So now all the motors are on. Last thing I need to do is cut these down, get them soldered to the ESCs. I'm going to leave a little slack on each one, so if anything were to happen, you can cut it and do it again. So that is what's next on the plate here. So what I do, something like that, gives me an idea of how long the wire is going to be. With these wires, I'm just going to cut them with scissors because they're pretty thin and easy to cut. Plan here is to do something like that. And then take one of these feet, put it on the bottom, and then I tape around it. And that's one. And I'm going to do the same to all 4 of them. And that's it. If you're wondering why there's some green tape here, it's because I ran out of black tape at the very last fucking second. So all there is left to do is put these together. By the way, this is where the little pads came for where I put the ESCs. And then once that's on there, you just stick that guy right on there. Oh, I got it backwards, look at that. Stick that guy right on there. Like so. Oh, this guy's in the way. Make sure that doesn't happen. There you go. Look at that. Pretty much snaps right into place. Perfect spot for the VTX. There you go. Perfect. Now let's go. These little guys. And that's it. Don't want to forget this guy. That is a finished Gecko. This guy is stick in there, but that you want to bind first, so leave it out.